welcome back to As the Reel Turns, your place for all things movie and television. And as always, we got another great show for you lined up. We have been covering all summer long the summer of Superman. The Summer of Superman. We've been going through every single live-action actor who's played the Man of Steel. We started all the way back in kind of the forgotten Superman, that being Kirk Allen. And last time where we left you off was with the kind of Superman's there for like, 10 minutes. Teen angst show, Smallville. But now we're going to get into the last four guys who have played Superman. Some have had shorter lineages, some have had longer lineages, and some are just starting out. And we've got my wonderful guys to talk about it with. We've got my friends Joe and Timothy. Welcome back, guys. Woo! So, and don't be fooled, we're back in our regular studio. So, yay! Woo!
Yay! We're not worthy.
Exactly. So, guys, thank you so much for coming back to the show.
Yep.
And thank you for going on the Superman journey with us, because we've covered a lot of something I never thought I'd say on this show. A lot of guys in tights.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nowhere to go from there.
Yeah, nah.
Well,
unless we're bringing Carrie Elwes in.
I was just going to make it that. Yeah.
I wasn't going to touch that.
Let's not go there. Anyway.
Not on screen anyway.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
We've already entered this type of show. Okay. So where we last left off was with Smallville. And Timothy, I think it was you who said that we really couldn't judge Tom Welling enough because he wasn't Superman enough in the show. But that show lasted 10 seasons from 2001 to 2010. And right in the middle there, now, there was always rumors, speculations, thoughts of what if there was Superman 5 with Christopher Reeve. Because we all know how Superman 4 turned out. And Christopher Reeve, this was 1987, he had said, okay, guys, I'm about done. You can't get me to wear the outfit anymore, so okay. We had our stunt with Supergirl during that time. Helen Slater, she did a good job, but the movie itself just wasn't...
Yeah.
They went more like a mystical approach instead of a superhero approach. But that's Helen Slater. She's there.
We'll give her her own show sometime.
We'll give her her own show, yeah. And so... there was always like, well, what if we made another Superman movie? Well, there were attempts to make a Superman movie. We had Tim Burton helming a Nicolas Cage starring Superman film. Okay. I don't really think it would be fun to have Nicolas Cage be like, Lois, I'm gonna save you! I don't know how that would work, but I mean... there's great test footage of him like trying on the outfit and stuff like that, but that movie never came to fruition.
And we do get to see him in the Flash movie.
Yes, we do.
So
years go on, and right smack dab during Smallville's production, Bryan Singer, who had been having success on the opposite comic, Marvel, with the franchise of X-Men. And X-Men kind of like revitalized the superhero film genre in, 2000 with X-Men, I think?
Pretty give or take a year, yeah.
That's about right.
And, he had X-Men and then X-Men 2 and Last Stand as well. So he was doing pretty well with that. So Warner Brothers said, well, hey, Bryan, you want to come over to DC and try out something with our big guy? And he said, okay. So what they did was they went ahead and made a movie that can be kind of seen as Superman 5.
Superman 5.
Is Superman 5. Except they called it Superman Returns. So Superman Returns. Okay. This was the thing. This was 2006, and, you know, me being the young kid that I was in 2006, I thought, oh, Superman on the big screen. Oh boy, I can't wait.
Well, you've been raised.
All the toys were out there, all the merchandise was out there, and my parents saw it and they said, Daniel, you don't want to see this. I'm like, what? Why not? I'll tell you why. So, as we watch the trailer here, this is what happens. Superman is sent away from Earth, and then years have gone by and he smack dab back on Earth again. And the world has moved on from, not only in time, but from him, from Superman. And what happens is Lex Luthor comes up with another evil plan to, get this, once again, real estate, destroy the world, and Superman must both figuratively and literally return to take him down. Who we have starring in this is Mr. Brandon Routh. There he is. There's Brandon right there. Now, Brandon Routh is kind of a iffy guy to judge at this time. I say that because you can judge him as Superman and his performance in the movie, or you can judge him as a really good Christopher Reeve impression. Because, like I said, this was kind of supposed to be Superman 5. He plays Christopher Reeve, I think, really, really well, and he does a great portrayal of his Superman. But that's about it. And as for the plot, if you liked Superman 1 and 2, guess what? It's Superman 1 and 2 condensed into one movie. Lex Luthor, brilliantly played by Kevin Spacey, who I have to show the clip where he yells at Lois Lane.
Come on, let me hear you say it just once. Come on.
You're insane.
No! That. No, the other thing. Come on, I know it's just dangling off the tip of your tongue. Let me hear it just once, please.
Superman will never.
Wrong!
You'll put it in a pop-up.
I'll put it in there. It's so good. But yeah, Lex Luthor doing real estate again. They use lines from Superman's 1 and 2. They use the hope this doesn't put you off flying, miss line.
Are you okay?
Well, I hope this experience hasn't put any of you off flying. Statistically speaking, it's still the safest way to travel.
And more. So, Joe, I'll start with you. With all that being said, just from what you saw in the trailer, I think you and I were talking that you haven't gotten a chance to see Superman Returns, but would you see Superman Returns?
Actually, I had seen Superman Returns.
You had seen Superman Returns, okay.
It was the newest one.
Oh, the newest one, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your thoughts here on Superman Returns and Brandon?
Superman Returns, I'm going to say right at the outset, really confused the living tar out of me.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, the reason it confused me is it was just like I wasn't sure what they were doing with the Superman Returns. I wasn't sure what did he return from. That was the part that threw me off.
Right.
I didn't realize until now when you told me that he had been sent off. Now, I didn't realize that. But then they brought him back, and I did notice the similarities that you showed.
Right.
And then they took it to the next step. I don't know. I didn't dislike the movie. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
But I found it confusing at the beginning, and the plot was pretty. I don't know. I'm finding it hard to describe when I think about it. But when they went through the whole thing, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. But I'm not so sure I was a big fan of the ending.
I mean, suffice to say, I have seen it now, and my parents were right. It was like I sat there and saying, wait a minute, I'm confused. Am I watching a rehash, or am I watching something that's supposed to be new? Because I think what they wanted to do was they wanted to branch this off into a new DC
That could well have been.
line of films.
Yeah.
I mean, because and this was 2006. This was the year after Christopher Nolan started his Dark Knight thing. This was the year before, after Batman Begins. So I don't know what they were trying to do necessarily. Also, if I can, Brandon looks good, and the suit it looks a little bit different.
The suit's darker.
The suit's darker with a maroon cape and boots and all that. But Timothy, Brandon Routh doing Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
And honestly, I think it's one of the few times you'll ever hear me say this, and I will deny it, even though you have it on film. I agree with everything you said.
Oh, okay, great.
I think you hit every major point there. There is it's easily overlooked, but there is a scene in there saying that he wasn't just sent away. He fixed his ship or something, and he's like, I need to go back to Krypton and find out if I'm the only survivor.
Yeah.
So that's what happened there. So he went off.
Her name is Helen Slater.
Yeah. So so he goes off. Some continuity things. Kudos for. You remember when Christopher Reeve lands at the beginning of the first film, he's put in the rock as an infant, and he's a toddler when he arrives on Earth.
Yeah.
Superman was gone from Earth for about 5 years. Trip out, trip back. That's about right.
Okay.
Okay, so they got that right. Couple other things they got right. Couple things they got wrong, which I could run a fanboy fix on, but both in Superman 3 and Superman 4, they mention that Martha Kent is dead.
Okay.
But she's in this
She's
film.
in this one, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, there's a fanboy fix, not worth going into that right now. But yeah, I think I think somebody decided that this was going to be put out to put a capstone on Christopher Reeve, the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But it wasn't fair to Brandon.
No. Yeah.
No, no, he should not have been hired to play Christopher Reeve playing Superman. He should have had a chance to be his own. But we mentioned in the previous episodes of the Superman series, Chris cast such a big shadow over this role.
Big time.
Going forward and back. He made everyone forget that George and Kirk and what have you came before him. I think you're right. He did a really good job of being Christopher Reeve's Superman, but they really should have let him be his own.
Right. And I mean, with all what we've said, what they do in the movie is not bad. I mean, the effects are pretty good. Mm-hmm. Brandon, like I said, does look good. Yeah. A lot of the effects work, and Kate Bosworth is a little weak, but
yeah, you indicate there are a lot of callbacks to the other films. A lot of them. I mean, you can get a bingo card.
Oh yeah,
and some of them are kind of cute, like the train track recreation of the events of the first film.
Oh yes,
and all of that. I met when we reviewed whichever one it was. Superman 2 and Superman 3 in an earlier episode. We mentioned, Lois is gone for most of Superman 3 after the love scene in Superman 2, and I mentioned there, I've always personally said, okay, Superman 5 explains why she was gone. Because while Superman was gone, she's now dating and engaged to Cyclops, Scott Summers.
X-Men director, you say?
Yes. And she has a son.
Has a kid now, yeah.
That she is insisting is her boyfriend's son. But events in the film is, so...
I remembered that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Lex is... That's that scene where Lex is yelling at them and something about the kid. He does something, I think, and
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, an island basically made of kryptonite in the movie, and I will say it's nice that they included Jack Larson and Noel Neal. They have cameos in the movie from the George Reeves show. That's nice. But as a whole, it's just not great. I don't think it was exactly what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
I will touch upon the fact, because I want to move on to the other guys, I will touch upon the fact that Brandon did get a chance to shine a little bit brighter in the future, because the CW had all their DC shows.
With the Arrowverse.
The Arrowverse. Thank you, Smallville. Sorry, lost my voice saying thank you, Smallville.
Choke it down.
Choke it down. So later on, I think it was in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
He got to play an alternate world Superman, or
Well, yes and
something
no.
like that.
So he's introduced, I think, in Arrow as Ray Palmer, who anyone who actually knows comics is the alter ego of the Atom, the guy that shrinks.
Right.
And he ultimately invents a suit that lets him do exactly that. And you get to see Brandon Routh play a superhero, and he does a good job.
Yes.
And then when the Arrowverse does their version of Crisis on Infinite Earths, where DC is taking all of their videos, all of the movies, TV shows, and saying, here's how they go together, Brandon, in his scene as Superman, is the Superman from the Christopher Reeves movies. And this time, he's allowed to do it as himself.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's how that worked.
I appreciate your concern, but this isn't my first go-around with Luthor. I can handle him.
That's what you're not hearing. He's changed the game.
Yeah, the book allows him to do anything. He made us vanish right in front of the last clerk.
What is this? Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane? Why are all these names on your wall?
The reject from Gotham felt that we didn't cover him enough, so he played what he called a practical joke and gassed the building.
All these people died?
My friends, my wife. I lost everyone in one fell swoop.
Almost as if you've been through more loss than any mortal man could endure.
I think we just found our paragon.
We need you to come back with us. I know this sounds insane, but you might be the key to saving the multiverse.
It's actually one of the least insane things I've ever heard. First, stay and face Luthor.
And you won't do it alone.
Until, finally, the Age of Heroes was born.
Clark Kent is now the editor of the Daily Planet, and they come in, and it's not long, like you say, it's a 10-minute scene, 15-minute scene, but he gets to be his Superman.
Which, good for him. Good for him, yeah. So, the bottom line is, if you want to see Superman Returns as a continuation of Christopher Reeve, go for it. Just don't, expect a brand new adventure. Imagine it as a tribute with some sprinkled ideas. That's my best thing for it. Yeah. So, Superman Returns, unfortunately, bottom line, did not work. And it's kind of a bummer. Yeah, sorry, Brandon. Sorry.
We'll leave him up here. Give him more screen time. He needs it.
He needs it. Oh, he'll be fine.
Okay. Keep talking.
Okay.
Ignore the man with the cape.
So, after that, years go by. We're getting some animated stuff. We're getting some one-off things. DC on television is climbing with other heroes, but we're not getting a big Superman return to big screen. Enter Zack Snyder. Now, Zack Snyder had pretty good success with a kind of big fat R movie called Watchmen. And Watchmen, not my type of superhero, but had mediocre success with it. And so they tapped his shoulder and said, hey, Zack, you want to do a Superman movie? And he said, okay. And so remember how much love I gave Smallville? And I can only imagine like saying, Zack walks into the writer's booth and says, okay, two things. This is an American superhero, right? Truth, justice, and the American way. He's got to be played by a British dude. And second, once we cast him, strip that man's underwear. Something else I never thought I'd say on this show. Because we can't, the red underwear? Pff, too hokey. We can't have that. In fact, put in a third thing. Let's not even call it Superman. Let's call it Man of Steel. Okay. I saw the trailers for this and I said, okay, I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna be excited for this thing. I'm gonna go see it. My parents said, oh yeah, big Superman movie. All right, let's give it a chance. And we saw it and we said, Superman is evil. He's dark. He kind of wants to hurt me, not save me. Anyway, so this was DC's kind of big, gritty reboot. We've had the Dark Knight trilogy ended the year before, and so it's like, well, Batman's dark, even darker than before, so Superman can be dark too. It's just a retelling, basically. You know the story. Alien lands in Kansas. Parents raise Alien. Alien becomes Clark Kent. Clark Kent becomes Superman. Oh, wait. General Zod is back and wants to destroy the world. Superman saves the day. Oh, and did we mention the fact that he rarely ever saves anyone, throws Zod into a building, Zod throws him into a building, and Superman breaks Zod's neck. Superman! Timothy, as we watch the trailer here, what happened to Man of Steel? Does this look like even a Superman movie to you?
Well, you see, you're exactly right with the whole Dark Knight thing, and when Frank Miller, back in the 80s, turned Batman into the Dark Knight in the comic books.
Yep.
That idea at the time really took off, and I think it's about then that people in comic book fans really kind of started turning against Superman. Yeah. They took the whole, what was his good characteristics. He's the Boy Scout. He's a symbol of hope. He'll always be there. Yep. He'll always save the day. He always looks on the bright side. There. Yeah, and started making fun of it. Started saying, this isn't the way the world really is. Batman's more the way the world really is.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be said for that. But
what do you think?
Yeah, and this is very heavily based on a graphic novel series.
Yeah, we got Amy Adams as Lois Lane.
Yeah. Most of the storyline is taken almost verbatim out of a graphic novel Superman series, including the Kryptonians coming to Earth, and he's finding out for the first time his heritage and all that. It is a darker, grittier Superman, and I'm of a generation that, I grew up during a time when Superman, the artist at the time, last name was Swan, I still to this day think he deliberately drew Superman, particularly Superman's face, to look like every little boy's father. And
this ain't no Swan, I can tell
no,
you that.
exactly. And so yeah, I'm with you. Superman is always supposed to do the right thing. Batman can be dark. Batman can be scary. Superman, again, hokey. I get it, but it's true. He is the symbol of hope. He is the person who says, yes, things are horrible right now. I even can't see a way out. But together, we will find a way.
Right. And, the symbol of hope thing, that's like one thing that I got really confused, annoyed about. Because I said, we saw it at the end of the trailer there. There's a scene where, once again, Superman gets arrested. Ha! Never seen that before. And Lois is basically viewing him.
Yeah.
And she says, "What's the S stand for?" And he's like, "It's not an S. From my planet, it stands for hope." And she's like, "It looks like an S." And I think everyone in the theater was saying "It's an S, dummy."
Why are you surrendering to Zod?
I'm surrendering to mankind. There's a difference.
You let them handcuff you?
Wouldn't be much of a surrender if I resisted. And if it makes them feel more secure, then all the better for it.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
Well, here it's an S. How about...
Sir?
Hi. My name is Dr.
Emil Hamilton. I know. I can see your ID tag in your breast pocket.
Along with a half-eaten roll of wintergreen lifesavers.
You can also see the squad of soldiers in the next room, preparing that tranquilizing agent of yours.
You won't need it.
Sir, you can't expect us to not take precautions. You could be carrying some kind of alien pathogen.
Been here for 33 years, Doctor. Haven't infected anyone yet.
That you know of. We have legitimate security concerns. Now, you've revealed your identity in Miss Lane over there. Why won't you do the same with us?
Let's put our cards on the table here, General.
You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't. And you never will. But that doesn't mean I'm your enemy.
Then who is? Zod?
That's what I'm worried about.
You're Superman. Deal with it. You're not Hope Man. Anyway, Joe, what are your thoughts here on Man of Steel? Was it too dark? Was it not the Superman that everyone has grown to love, or was it something? Oh, this is cool now.
Yeah, I'll go so far as to say I was disappointed with this film. Overall, the effects, everything were good, but as you pointed out, both of you, he's supposed to be a ray of hope, and in the end, having him actually, and this was something I really did not care for at all, but having him actually kill Zod at the end.
I know.
That was just not, everybody, as you both said, Superman is hope.
Yeah.
A guy who's supposed to bring hope does not go around snapping people's necks.
Yeah.
That's not what they do.
If you love these people so much, you can mourn for them. Don't do this! Stop! Never.
They do. Though they were trying to make him dark, they took it too far.
Yeah.
They definitely took it too far. Again, Batman, yes, he's supposed to be. Yeah. That's his persona. Superman, not so much. I mean, overall, I just didn't care for the movie overall. I mean, somebody gave it to me, and it's in my video collection just because I have most of the rest of them. But other than that, I think I've watched it maybe twice.
The disc makes a good coaster.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, Yeah. I can't add more to that.
Yeah, and you, I think Mayhem mentioned, but there are a couple of movies, particularly based on books that I loved growing up, that I really want to not like the movie because the movie isn't really the book, and people will see the movie and never read the book and think that's the story. But when I can set that prejudice aside and look at the movie on its own terms, okay, it's a good film. It's not the story I was expecting, but it's a good film. Now, I won't go so far as to say that Man of Steel is a good film, but if we set that prejudice aside and go in thinking, okay, we're not looking for our hopeful childhood Superman, and view this Superman, Henry Cavill's Superman, on his own terms, okay, the film does step up. If you're divorcing it from Christopher Reeve and everything that came before, okay,
everybody,
its own story, okay. His particularly as Clark Kent, his relationship with Lois Lane.
I figured if I turned over enough stones, you'd eventually find me. Where are you from? What are you doing here? Let me tell your story.
What if I don't want my story told?
It's going to come out eventually. Somebody's going to get a photograph or figure out where you live.
Well, and then I'll just disappear again.
The only way you could disappear for good is to stop helping people altogether, and I sense that's not an option for you.
My father believed that if the world found out who I really was, they'd reject me out of fear.
Really nice there.
Right.
And this is the first introduction to Dawn of Justice.
Yes.
So he's the same Superman as in Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, which will, of course, become the Justice League film and everything that's come from that. And quite frankly, I was kind of looking forward and hoping DC would stick with that project. I mean, it had its problems, but I was hoping they would stick with that project, see it through to the end. It's like, nope, we're going to throw that all out the window and start all over.
Which, that's the constant story here, is that Henry Cavill always got the short stick with this thing.
Yeah.
Which I will say, okay, here's what I'll say about him. I'm always a nitpicker when it comes to things, but this is Hollywood. Everybody plays everybody. You'll be watching something, they'd be like, oh my gosh, they're a New Zealander or something like that. Well, okay, so I mean, it's kind of funny to see a British guy playing Mr. Superman, but he looks like a Superman.
Yeah.
He does play the role really well. I'm a nitpicker. When I saw no red underwear, I was like, no, that's already 10 points off.
But then they gave Batman nipples.
Well, true.
Yeah,
that's true. One thing about Amy Adams playing Lois Lane, this is just me throwing a conspiracy theory out there, but flashback to George Reeves, when they went to color, as the series progressed, her hair got brighter and brighter, and soon she was like a Lucille Ball shade of red. Amy Adams' hair is, kind of that shade. Was that a reference, maybe?
Possibly.
Anybody?
After in the comics, because big comics guy, I'll turn it over to you. After
Yeah.
Superman, after the crisis, after Superman died and came back, Lois Lane basically was a redhead with shoulder length, wavy, curly red hair.
No.
So maybe it was that, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Joe, you were going to say something though.
I was going to say I never caught that. I thought Amy Adams actually made a good Lois Lane.
That's
I
fair.
mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
But as far as any references, I didn't catch any.
Yeah.
I just, she was there, and I was like, okay, good job. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, and I have, going into this, I spent more time on other things, so I didn't review Man of Steel or Batman vs. Superman coming into this. So it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I'd say, just to be fair to Cavill, set those preconceptions aside. Set what you think Superman is aside, and view it on its own merits. View his performance on its own merits. And if you still don't like it, that's cool. I don't like rhubarb pie.
There you go.
I will quickly touch upon Superman or Batman v Superman, which again, he's playing the same role. He's okay in that. I will say the one scene with when he and Batfleck there first meet Wonder Woman, the two of them go on edge. Is she with you? I thought she was with you. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'll give him that.
Did you find the spear?
I've been a little busy.
This creature, seems to feed on energy.
This thing is from another world. My world.
I've killed things from other worlds before.
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
And then he came back in the first Justice League, and then the other Justice League, which was a whole mess of its own, which I don't really want to get into. But Henry Cavill. But for Man of Steel and his portrayal, it's just not my thing. It's the gritty Superman, which it's funny though. I think increasingly his performances, not only the suit got a little bit brighter, but he got brighter. He's making cracks. There was one joke in the first Justice League where he's racing the Flash. It's like, I always wanted to see the Pacific, which is that way. That's funny.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you doing this.
Not at all, Barry. Curious myself.
Yeah, and it's not like a competition, Well, it is a competition, but, it's not like a macho measuring thing.
But if I win, you're off the team. No. If I win, Bruce said something about you having to take us all to brunch?
Oh, see, now that's cold. That's a betrayal. I feel stung by that. Okay, but if I win, I get to tell everyone.
Deal. Which coast?
I've never seen the Pacific. Which is that way, because the sun and it's...
I'll give him that. But here's one thing I will say about Henry Cavill. He may have gotten the short stick in regarding Superman, but I will say this. Henry Cavill, I don't care how hard you have to push. I don't care how much you have to beg, how much money you have to pay. There was one role out there for you, my friend, that you were born to play, and you know it. You, sir, have to walk into Amazon MGM and say, give me James Bond or else. Come on, he is born
I will burn you down with my laser
That's
eye.
right. I mean, he'd be perfect for that role. That's just me as a Bond fan, though. Anyway, if you haven't seen Henry Cavill or Man of Steel or any of his other ones, go check them out. If you're a dark and grittier Superman or superhero fan, this might be your thing. That's that. We are not going to do a Who Are You because I was stupid and didn't bring a clip, so we're just going to end it there. But guys, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today and for going throughout the entire Superman summer. It has been so much fun. I hope you guys have had a good time with it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope to have you guys on the show again at another time, for sure. And again, watch all the Superman shows we've done. You might find one and you might enjoy them all that you like. You never know. Until then, I want to thank our Magic and Tech team over there. They're giving me a thumbs up. I want to thank you guys again for coming on. My name is Dan Saletti. This has been As the Real Turns. Enjoy Superman. That is a wrap. Woo!